Championships 2019. Hello and welcome to the World Pipe Band Championships 2019, one of the biggest music events in the calendar. I'm joined by crowds from across the globe who've assembled in Glasgow to experience the truly unique event that is the World. And over the next hour, we will bring you all the performances from the very best bands. They're contending for that title, World Pipe Band Champions 2019. Coming up, we bring you some of the best performances from this year's top pipe bands. We meet the pipe major who could become a record breaker.
Creating that sound, that's what's most important to him, and if the band plays well, that makes him happy. But of course, he always will like to win, but he doesn't say that.
And for any piping newcomers, we delve into the heart of a pipe band and find out how it works and who does what.
The bass drummer is ultimately the heartbeat of the pipe band. Everybody's eyes should be firmly on my chanter, and it's all about trying to use your eyesight and using your ears to make everything lock.
And we'll catch the moment the 2019 champion is announced. So who will it be? Well, at this level, it's always a close call. And not only that, but there are big changes to the competition this year. To tell us about those, I'm joined now, as ever, by our friend and expert piper, Bob Worrell. Bob, good to see you.
Good to see you, Jackie.
Tell us about those changes.
Significant changes. In previous years, the Friday competition was a qualifier, and the bands qualified to come to the final. They made a decision that all 15 bands would play twice on the Friday, and the result would count. And then bands would play twice on the Saturday, and the result would count. All 4 results blended into one final result.
And from a musician's perspective, what does this mean?
Consistency, musical, tonal, technical consistency across all 4 performances.
And do the bands know how they did the day before?
They haven't a clue, because those results were put under lock and key with the Chief Executive Officer of the RSPBA until today.
You're relishing this now.
I am.
At this level, what are the judges looking for? What makes a world champion?
The judges in the March Strathspey and Reel are listening for overall musicality in all 3 components of that event, along with the tone and technique and everything else. In the medley, they're listening for the same, but on top of that, you've got the creativity and the arrangement of the medley and how the listener's attention is drawn into the music that the bands are presenting.
Now this year, talking of special, could be very notable because we could see the breaking of a record that some thought would never be surpassed in the world of pipe bands.
Richard Parkes, when he won the World Pipe Band Championship trophy last year, that was his 12th win. And that tied him with Ian McClellan, who was the pipe major of Strathclyde Police for so many years. If he wins today, that would break the record, would give him 13, and he would be the most winning pipe major in the history of the World Pipe Band Championships.
That would be incredible. How do you rate his chances?
Good.
That's good to hear. Wow. We'll wait and see. What we're going to do now is hear some music. Let's go to the Grade 1 Arena for our first visit for the March, Strathspey and Reel. First to play are the Police Service of Northern Ireland.
Much better movement in the reel. Chanters losing a little depth and balance on their top hands.
Yesterday morning was very difficult for a lot of the bands, but the conditions today obviously a lot better. So I was pretty pleased. Steady start to finish. Can't complain. A pretty good solid run, yeah.
excellent movement through the two-bar phrases in this Strathspey. Snare drumming is really sensitive to what the pipe corps is doing with the tune.
I think we managed the day really well. We preserved our instruments really well from yesterday. We didn't do very much this morning, but we produced a really solid MSR. So yeah, that's 3 down and 3 good runs, so we're very happy so far.
Pretty solid overall introduction. I felt the pipe corps was just a little bit ahead of the drum corps in the first few phrases, but they've settled into their expression nicely now, and it's resulting in a much better overall integration.
That was as good as yesterday. It's our second year in the grade, so really proud of the band and delighted with the performance overall. Couldn't be happier, really.
Pipe corps is having some fairly significant articulation issues, bottom hand work. Feeling the snares are just pushing the band a little.
We've very much got a kind of developmental band going on at the moment, a lot of new blood, and they're just learning the ropes, so the more of this they do, the more they learn. So yeah, let's look forward to the afternoon.
Lovely dynamics range by the snares.
It was very good, yeah. It was a nice build-up. With plenty of time this morning. It just felt like we had plenty of time. So it was good. I was very happy with the way everyone played.
Remember, you can see all the performances from our Grade 1 competitors on our website, bbc.co.uk/worlds. But now, let's go back to the Grade 1 arena for the second instalment of the March Strathspey and Reel.
Last year's runners-up, it's Inverarian District.
can only gauge what you do because we have no contact, or well, you might get a chance to listen to others, but very rarely because you're that busy preparing. So, but within ourselves, I think I'm quite happy. Yeah.
Precise transition into the reel.
Well, we had a really good medley in the afternoon, but we had a few shaky passages in the opening MSR yesterday. So, generally it was good, but the medley especially was very good yesterday, and that performance there was hopefully up there with the medleys from yesterday.
Excellent tempo for this tune and good patience in the treatment of the pulsing.
Yeah, reasonably happy to start the morning off with a nice traditional MSR, and obviously looking forward to the medley to come this afternoon.
Slight disconnect between the two chords and the first few phrases of the reel.
It's been quite strange with the first day being as important. It's quite difficult to get yourself into the headspace because it's all new, with the first day being counted for. So it's taken a bit of getting used to, but it's probably makes starting today a bit easier.
Listen how well the snares are punctuating phrase endings. Tempo may have come down just a touch at this point.
I thought it was pretty strong. The tempos were nice, well controlled. The sound held pretty well where I was, so I'll discuss with the band and see what it was like elsewhere, but fairly happy with that.
More performances later, but now we want to take a look at how a pipe band actually works. Every band has a fixed structure, and everyone in that band has their own job to do. We asked Johnson Pipe Band and our very own Bob Worrell to explain what's going on when a band marches into that centre circle.
Every year, hundreds of bands travel to compete in the Worlds. The city of Glasgow is abuzz with pipers and drummers, each striving for a win. Johnston Pipe Band stepped up to Grade 1 in 2017, and they're very much focused on this year's competition.
Johnston Pipe Band is now 76 years old. I've been the pipe major of it for the last 5 years. Before that, my dad was the pipe major for 20 years. I started teaching in the schools in Renfrewshire at the end of 2014, and as a result of that, we managed to start our own Renfrewshire Schools Pipe Band. So that's a feeder system that forms into our Johnston Pipe Band Grade 3 Pipe Band, and then into the Johnston Grade 1 Pipe Band as well. So we've got 3 bands, so over 100 members across the 3 bands. So this is the Johnston Grade 1 Pipe Band, and today we're rehearsing for the World Pipe Band Championships.
First of all, let's take a look at the key positions that make up a pipe band.
So you've got the pipe major, who ultimately it's his job to manage the pipe band, to run rehearsals, to coordinate with the leading drummer, who has similar roles but within the drum corps.
My name's Les Galbraith. I'm the leading drummer of the Johnston Grade 1 Pipe Band. My role is to manage the drum corps, construct all the drum scores and make sure we get to a high standard and produce that on the park at competition days.
I'm Dougie Campbell. I'm the pipe sergeant of the band and I've been here for 3 years. My own focus in the band is really just working the playing side of things, the unison and the style, and with other people, the musical arrangements. We've got a good hard-working team.
Within each band there are units of pipers, snare drummers, tenor drummers, and a bass drummer. Tuning is one of the most important elements in a pipe band. Drones out of key, and this could cost any band valuable points during a competition.
We have 9 notes, we're constantly tuning, they're constantly moving with temperature and weather, so it is a nightmare, but you just have to try your best and hopefully they go okay.
Formation is important. The band must uniformly walk to the beat, maintain focus. Precision is everything.
You have a starting line, and then we march forward, and there's a circle laid out on the grass for us to form around.
Keeping time in the pipe band is absolutely crucial, and with as many as 40 band members, focus is everything.
The bass drummer is ultimately the heartbeat of the pipe band. Everybody's eyes should be firmly on my chanter, and it's all about trying to use your eyesight and using your ears to make everything lock.
During each medley and march, Strathspey and Reel, the band must transition between pieces of music, and this is absolutely crucial to the success of the performance. The smoother the transitions, the better the outcome.
It's getting better every year, and if they keep getting better every year, I don't know where they'll end up. A bit to go yet, but he's on the right tracks.
As you can see, bringing so many crucial elements together makes a band world class. And that's how they end up here.
Now let's see how Johnston Pipe Band fare in the centre circle.
A little square on the treatment of the first part. Patience on the pulsing settled in much better in the second.
I think they did quite well. A bit of tiredness creeping in towards the end of the set, but overall, yeah, I think we're quite happy with that.
Superb clarity of technique in this Strathspey.
It was a pretty solid run. Playing was good. The guys all seemed pretty happy when we come off there, so yeah, can't complain.
confident introduction.
Went very well. We're very happy with that. We had 2 good runs yesterday, so we were happy that they counted. Early draw, but the band played really well.
Just a tiny bit square in the delivery of the first part of the Strathspey.
Yeah, it went really well for us this morning. Much better conditions than yesterday, which makes it nice, not only for the spectators but for the bands as well. Makes it a bit, you can get your sound nailed a lot better, you know. So.
It was pretty good. I think the guys were settled on the field and mostly enjoyable. It was a little windy out there, but what are you going to do? It's better than rain, so I think the guys will be happy with that.
The last of today's MSR performances are done, wrapping up this round of the competition. And before we move on to the medley section, let's speak to some of the people who've travelled far and wide to be here today.
Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. This is my husband. We just got married a couple weeks ago, so this is, I guess, part of our honeymoon to come over here and kind of celebrate and be with the band for a week.
To enjoy the bagpipes, and this is the last day as friends together before going back to school. Yeah.
So piping, drumming brings great music. It can also bring love. You two met through, well, you met, you were a piper or not?
I was a piper, and then Kevin started to enjoy the pipe bands, and he's learnt the pipes now since he's met us.
Yeah, I've learnt the pipes late on. I'm like 52, 53, and I started playing when I was 51, and hopefully we'll be able to go and compete next year at this magic tournament. I love it.
The Scottish people are really different from other people. We have been around the world. The Scottish people are really warm and really welcoming. They appreciate anything or everything you do. Yeah, so that's another reason we always looking forward to come to Scotland.
Well, it's called the Worlds. We've got 3 young people who've come all the way from Canada. What do you make of the experience of being here?
It's great, really bewildering. I've never done anything as big as this before. It's crazy to see how many people come out and support us.
And this is the first time you've been at the World?
Yep, first time out here, and it's nothing like I've ever been to before, honestly. It's honestly pretty great.
If you're a visitor to Scotland and you want to know about the heritage and the traditions, it's all here, all in one package.
We can now reveal the results from Friday and from Saturday's MSR. It's the perfect time to look at the Grade 1 table at this critical stage just before the final performances. In 6th place, People's Ford, Boghall and Bathgate, Caledonia. In 5th position, it's Simon Fraser University. Scottish Power are in 4th place, with St Lawrence O'Toole in 3rd. And I can tell you that after 3 performances and 12 judges, in 2nd place, it's Field Marshal Montgomery, which means leading the pack at this stage, and by a very fine margin, it's Inveraray District.
So there we are, the top 6 as they stand at this stage of the competition. It's all to play for as we move into the medley section. Now this is where the bands get to choose their own music and arrangements, all in an effort to wow the judges one last time. Here we have St Lawrence O'Toole.
Very effective opener. Very musical jig playing, very fluent delivery.
We're happy. We've had 4 really good performances, so time for beer now, I think.
Really, that's how you're feeling?
Yeah,
it must be good to get it out of the way.
You know, it's good to get it out of the way, but it's also good to actually, this is a really testing environment. 2 days here and competing in a final for 2 days, 4 performances, 25 minutes of pure performance and an hours of preparation. It's really, it's grueling. So I think more than anything else on the second day, as well as trying to preserve your instrument, is the stamina. Keep going, how much rest have you had over the period, and it's not easy when you've so many friends here, so it's been good.
Very lovely overall orchestration to this air, the South Uist Whaling Song.
How did it feel?
Felt excellent. Band had a lot of energy, they were playing well and together, and we've worked so hard for this.
Well, last year,
this event, yeah.
Top 6.
Yeah.
So what are your hopes now?
Just Stay the same or better.
Lovely dynamic support from the snares and their jigs. Tiny little late drone at the end of the performance. As far as I'm concerned, the only flaw. For me, that was one of the finest medleys I think I've ever heard.
We've managed to play 4 pretty satisfactory runs, I would say, so very happy with that. And it's all down to the prep work, I think.
You've had a great season so far.
Yes. So bad.
You know what I'm going to say?
It means nothing.
Really?
It means nothing.
It's not a case of peaking. It's not a case of, no, we're on our top game.
We're not the only. There's about, I could say, 5, 6, maybe 7 bands that are also doing the same thing, and it's wafer thin between them all. So, yes, we won the last championship, the last 2, but it means absolutely nothing. This is a completely different scenario as well. So we only play once at the other championships, 4 times here, so anything could happen.
That's the first wave of medley performances. More coming up soon. But first, something very special could happen at this year's event. Records are made to be broken. And for one pipe major in particular, this year's Worlds could present an incredible record-breaking opportunity. When it comes to the piping elite, Field Marshal Montgomery has been the band to beat for over 30 years. Based in Lisburn, Northern Ireland, they welcome a number of international players to their roster and are regulars on the top spot in every major pipe band championship. And if they scoop top place this year, the band's pipe major will become a record breaker. Richard Parkes, MBE, joined Field Marshal Montgomery in 1976. Since becoming pipe major in 1981, Richard has led the band to piping glory. Winning a staggering number of accolades over the years, the band has taken countless major championship titles.
Field Marshal Montgomery.
And an impressive 12 World Pipe Band Championships, all with Richard Parkes at the helm. Achieving such glory takes steely determination and a lot of hard work to meet their pipe major's high expectations.
Everybody that stands around that circle that's in the band has utmost respect for Richard, and it really does work. He doesn't command respect in any way. He just oozes a kind of aura, I suppose, about himself that everybody just wants to respond to in a positive way. being able to work with him now is something quite special, actually.
He has an attention to detail that I've never seen in anyone. He has the best withering stare, I think, of anyone I've ever seen, and I think that's probably part of the secret, is that everybody works very hard to make sure that they're not on the end of that stare.
Richard's a very calm and collected person, very, very strict, and sets a high standard with the band and every single piper within it. You have to work very, very hard to play in his band, but he's very methodical and teaches very well, and individually teaches all the players in the band.
Well, he's obviously got a lot of success behind him, yet he's so modest, so I think that's what everyone respects him way more, because he's so humble. So he's absolutely lovely, he's a gentleman, but Worlds Week, you just try to stay away from him, don't talk to him too much, because he's so focused.
And it's not just Park's bandmates who can share an insight into his dedication to Field Marshal Montgomery. Richard's wife, Ruth, knows all too well just what the band means to him.
On that first night, that first date, he made it perfectly clear to me. He said, "There's something, Ruth, I have to tell you." And I thought, oh no, what on earth is he going to say? He's got 6 kids down the line or something like that. And then he said, "I play the bagpipes." And I said, "Well, okay, that's fine, that's okay," but I didn't realise what that really meant. He's grown up with it. He's brought them from low level right to the very top, and he just, I don't know what he would do if he wasn't playing in Field Marshal Montgomery Pipe Band. And I have to be focused, I have to be there with him, and if he needs something, I'm there to help him. It's creating that sound. That's what's most important to him, and if the band plays well, that makes him happy. As long as they play well, but of course he always will like to win, but he doesn't say that.
With an impressive 12 wins at the Worlds, Richard Parkes is currently on a par with the only other pipe major to share this accolade, piping legend, formerly of Strathclyde Police, Ian McClellan.
Richard's one of the nicest guys I'll ever meet. He's an absolute gentleman. I have a lot of admiration for him. I think he's been so successful because, first of all, his band has a sound that probably no other band replicates, and sound is a big thing in pipe band world. And also he's mustered a great pipe corps round about him. They're all excellent players. He's not put any passengers in there. They're all working hard for him, and they have a lot of respect for him. He's had that band of his for quite a few number of years now, and he's built them up into one of the finest bands I've ever heard in my life.
A question on everyone's lips. Can Richard make it a lucky 13 and set a new record? So this is it. Here are Field Marshal Montgomery with their final performance of the competition.
Excellent introduction. Lovely swingy effect to this hornpipe. Great energy in the delivery of these jigs. superb snare accompaniment.
Someone very close to me said recently that the piping and reaching this standard is all about preparation, practice and people. How have you been faring this year on all of that?
We've been faring okay this year, but I mean, I'm not going to make excuses, but every time we've played this year, it's really deluged on us. You know, I'm having the opportunity to really give our best performances. That's in the major competitions, but certainly today and yesterday we've given our 3 best performances of the season, which we really couldn't ask for any more.
And I have to ask you, as you well know, if you win this year, you're in the record books. Now, it can't, I'm sure it won't dominate your thoughts, you're too much of a pro, but you must have been thinking about it.
I actually was thinking about it in the middle of the performance, and it came into my head, and it shouldn't, but it did. And the other things came into my head, back to the music, start thinking back to the music, you know, so it did. Of course it's in my head, it's got to be in my head, it's going to be in anybody's head, but I wouldn't even dream of that.
Beautifully orchestrated.
Quite a lot of effort playing 4 times in 2 days when everything counts, so it's a lot of energy in that last performance, you know, just trying to get every last little bit you've got to give out, so it's nice to be done at the same time.
You summed it up, haven't you? 4 times, everything counts.
Yep. It was actually quite difficult to get your head into the right space yesterday, because you're not used to it being everything counting the same way, but you have to. And
you're a bit emotional yourself.
Yeah.
No wonder all that. Yeah. I mean, you people you give your lives to this. You make so many sacrifices, and you reach this stage, and then you come off and you did well.
Yeah, there's nothing better than a good performance. You know, it's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. So you just want it to go right. That's it.
You sounded great.
I'm extremely happy with it. We've worked very hard this year. Today and yesterday we just wanted 4 solid performances, and I think we pulled that off. So I'll just speak to everybody and make sure they're happy, and I'm happy.
Over these 2 days, Glasgow Green saw more than 30,000 spectators and around 8,000 musicians come together for this fantastic event. They were met with some glorious sunshine and some torrential rain.
So who do you think's going to win?
Inveraray.
I like the Canadian one myself.
Simon Fraser.
That's the one. I've got to be careful. There's 2 Fraser bands, but I thought they were good. But some of the other bands were just as good too.
Who do you think's going to win?
Either Field Marshal Montgomery or Inveraray.
Why have you earmarked those 2 particular bands?
I'm only a fan, but I just love the sound that they make.
Who do you think's going to win?
Hopefully Field Marshal Montgomery.
Do you think they've done enough though?
I think they might just have edged it, yeah.
Who do you think is going to win? Give us your last thought.
The one that won last year.
Field Marshal Montgomery?
Yes, I quite like them.
Inveraray.
Why is that?
The better. They're the best team, group. Definitely the best band.
Do you think on the day they pulled it together?
Shotts and Dykehead are good as well, so.
The atmosphere here really is incredible. Thousands of people from across the world will come to enjoy the pipe bands. And before the judges make those final, all-important decisions, let's go back to the main arena one last time for the final medley performances.
And here are Glasgow Police.
Lovely, proud introductory tune. Chanter balance posing a bit of an issue for the band at this point. Good integration between the 2 chorus and the jig. Bit of an air snuck in there.
How did you get on there?
Good, good. It's enjoyable. It's enjoyable. Quite a relaxed performance, I thought, quite good. So the sun shone us, which is always a positive.
Because there have been some very unlucky bands over the last 2 days who've had to play in a deluge, and then glorious sunshine in the same piece.
That's the crazy thing about this instrument. It's one of the hardest ones to tune in inclement weather, but we still do it. But that's part of the fun, I suppose. You know.
Superb intonation. That was absolutely first rate.
I was there enjoying it. I don't know. You probably didn't see. I was starting to sort of dance about a bit there, so I was enjoying myself. Not very often.
It's been a tough 2 days. You've had everything thrown at you.
The weather's been pretty bad. Yesterday was a challenge. Today, even though it's dry and things like that, the sun's presenting its own challenges as well. So, I mean, we had a big concert on Wednesday, so the guys they've had a lot on their plate this week. But I think they've managed to acquit themselves pretty well.
Great energy, great control, superb snare integration. Great impact at the conclusion of that performance.
How has the new format suited you?
I think it's better. It spreads out the risk for everybody. It's more of an ordeal because I think obviously some bands probably try it harder when it counts in the Friday round than they would if it was a qualifying one. But
There must be an impact with bands like yourselves that have come so far, and in the past you had a day.
Yeah.
Now you have the 2 days. You have 4 goes at it, really.
Yeah. It takes management to get the pipes adapted to the climate over here. I mean, we get a lot of rain in BC, but not in July and August.
It's the moment we've all been waiting for. There's nothing anyone can do. After 2 days of the finest pipe band music, it's time to find out who will be crowned World Champions 2019.
Grade 1 first place, winning the RSPB Jubilee Trophy and Banner, and World Champions for 2019, Inveraray District. In second place, winning the Bob Black Memorial Cup, Field Marshal Montgomery. In third place, winning the Ian Cameron Shield, St Lawrence O'Toole.
I think you
Gibraltar making a bit of a racket.
Noisy, aren't they?
Congratulations. Can you sum up what this means to you?
It's a huge honour. It means a great deal for us to be counted amongst such great bands. We know how much it takes, all the hard work and everything that goes into it. So we're all in the same boat, but it's just a great honour.
You weren't only battling the other bands in this competition, you were battling the elements over 2 days. Do you feel it was a particularly tough Worlds?
It was a very tough Worlds. The performances are tough enough, but it's the weather conditions, the preparation you have to do in between, that makes it even more hard. So, yeah, it was very challenging.
Well, you overcame the challenges. Many congratulations, Stuart Little, and the World Champions 2019 Inverary and District.
World Champions 2019, it's Inverary and District. No record this year for Richard Parkes as Field Marshal Montgomery finish in second place. St Lawrence O'Toole takes third spot. Scottish Power finished in fourth, with Simon Fraser University in fifth. And in sixth position this year, it's People's Ford Bogholland Bathgate Caledonia.
Well, an incredible day and a great win. And if you want to see more performances, you can find them on our website, bbc.co.uk/worlds. Bob, your final thoughts?
2 days of great music and 4 great performances from Inverary and District. A great, well-deserved win.
Well, just before that, Scotland the Brave, all we have to say is thank you for joining us. From Glasgow Green, from Bob, from me, from Inverary and District. Goodbye!
From the glorious pipes and drums in Glasgow to Edinburgh, where this year's tattoo celebrates the kaleidoscope and dazzlingly colourful highlights from the Royal Edinburgh Military Tattoo. That's here in BBC One Scotland this Sunday at 5:35.